morning. Despite what the calendar says, it's springtime here in the Maricopa Mountains, and that's given us a lot of lovely wildflowers to look at. And speaking of nice things to look at, that suggests today's anime. The Portrait de Petite Cosette is a gothic horror anime series from Genion. The entire OVA series, all 3 episodes, are contained on a single DVD, a complete self-contained story. The story takes place in a modern city where Eri is a young man who works at a corner antique store. Eri finds that some of the old objects in the store still hold the spirits of their departed owners. In particular, one ornate crystal wine goblet still holds the spirit of a young girl named Cosette, whom now only Eri can see. Despite Cosette's life challenge status and obvious youth, Eri is drawn to her out of love and compassion.
Were you feeling lonely? I'm so sorry I had to leave you alone like that. My first love. He's kinda right about that.
When the apparition in the antique wine glass shows Eri how brutally Cosette was murdered by an artist, Orlando, who'd been painting her in portraits, Eri vows to do whatever's necessary to break the curse that binds the spirit of little Cosette to that antique glass. A woman from a nearby shop, Shoko, has a crush on Eri. She's distressed at how obsessed Eri's become with some of his antiques. She assumes the reason that Eri ignores her flirting is because he already has a girlfriend. She just doesn't realize the girlfriend is a ghost.
It can't be. Is it really true that you're seeing someone? Wait a minute, who is it? Is it someone I know? So how about it then, Eri? Huh?
If this glass breaks, it's irreplaceable! Do you understand that? It would be just as bad as if you were to murder someone!
Shoko consults with a psychic and fortune teller from the neighborhood, Yuri. Yuri can sense the supernatural energy in the antique shop, but can't see little Cosette the way Eri can, and Eri isn't talking about it. The story is fairly simple and involves Eri's deepening involvement in the spirit world of Cosette as he does what he must do in order to free his beloved Cosette from the curse that binds her to that antique wine glass. Eri and Cosette are the only 2 characters. Eri is obsessed and earnest and withdrawing from the real world. Cosette is cute, alternately playful and pitiable, and often enigmatic. The art designs are really phenomenal. The backgrounds have been drawn with an incredible detail that adds a loving depth and realism to the artwork that would make a theatrical movie jealous. Whether it's drawing a random street scene, or the park, or the antique shop outside, or inside, or Cosette in her home, or at the piano, or Cosette and Eri in their allegorical spirit world. All the backgrounds have an incredible depth to them. The animation in front of those backgrounds, on the other hand, is fairly sparse. All the effort's been put in the backgrounds, which are the truly incredible beauty. The anime juxtaposes images of opposites, of tenderness and terror, joy and melancholy, beauty and horror, ecstasy and agony. The mood is marvelously enhanced by the soundtrack provided by Yuki Kajiura. You'll recognize her distinctive music style from such works as Noir or Hack Sign as soon as the DVD menu appears. The story is fairly simple and unfolds lethargically, advances only fitfully, and gives the animation and music lots of time to play with the mood. Perhaps at 2 full hours, too much time. There were places where it seemed to drag, like it was overly drawn out. I thought it might have benefited from some tighter editing. It's as if the creators had so many ideas for spectacular visuals to dazzle us with that they couldn't whittle it down to the essentials to tell the story. There just isn't enough story here to spread over all these beautiful images. Damn, I sound like Emperor Joseph and Amadeus, who tells Mozart,
There are simply too many notes, that's all. Just cut a few and it'll be perfect.
This anime is not for the kids. It will give them nightmares if it doesn't put them to sleep first. There's also a lot of torture and blood, though nothing that would make anyone who could stomach Helsing or Gantz blanch. And by the way, I found the Genian dub quite acceptable. Overall, I give the Portrait de Petite Cosette 4 stars. I liked having the DVD on my shelf, but it's not something that I would rewatch very often because it demands a lot more attention than most common adventure stories. Still, it's well worth the effort to see at least once. Thanks for listening.